Hey guys, Gregory's back. Today I've been making the video called Part 2, The Diary of a Wimpy Kid Diaper Overload. As I'm saying to this video, let's get into it. Okay, I remember this while I was stopping by here. Did I ever read this? I think I did since part 1. They came back to our house and ripped their own jeans. But when Mom found them piled up in Roderick's room, she put patches on the holes. And I'm pretty sure she ironed them too. After that, the guys went to the Goodwill store, where you can get used clothes pretty cheap. And Bill put together an outfit that he thought made him look like the lead singer of a rock band. But it turned out that half of the clothes Bill brought had been donated to the store by his grandma. So she made him turn right around and return them. Then Mackie had an idea. He said they could just buy Rockstar costumes. Because the Halloween outlet near us was having an after-season clearance sale. And everybody agreed that seemed like a smart plan. Is this the right page? But the costumes didn't look anything like they did on the package. They were more like plastic aprons than cool outfits. And the guitars were miniature inflatables. If the guys ever go out in public wearing those plastic aprons, I really hope Bill wears some pants underneath. Because those costumes only covered the front. Thursday, Roderick says that every series band gets professional photos taken so they can use them on posters and album covers. But it turns out professional photographers are expensive. So Roderick's been looking into other options. The option he settled was asking Mom to take the pictures. Because she offered to do it for free. So they spent the afternoon doing a photo shoot in our backyard. But it was hard to get a shot where there wasn't a fence or a swing set in the background. After a while, they ditched their costumes and just tried using the stuff around them. But they ended with a bunch of pictures they probably not gonna use. Mom said the guys looked too serious in all the pictures. And music was supposed to be fun. So she got them to lighten up a little But I don't think the guys are gonna like the way those photos came out either. Eventually, it got too cold out and the guys moved inside. Mom had other things to do, so I got put on photographer duty. Roger wanted to get a few photos that would really tell people what loaded diaper is all about. Which is how we ended up in the bathroom. But Drew and Mackie started screwing around, and Drew ended up with a toilet plunger stuck to his back. The guys were about to go to the emergency room, but then Roger remembered that one of our neighbors is a plumber. After that, the guys looked through all of the photos, but they didn't think they looked professional enough. Mackie remembered that there was a photo studio at the mall that could probably do this kind of thing pretty cheap. Everybody liked that idea. So they piled into Roderick's van and headed to the mall. But what Mackie forgot that the photography place at the mall was a baby studio. I guess the studio isn't choosy about whose picture they take, though. And they had the guys in front of the camera in no time. It took a little while for them to warm up to the photographer, but apparently this lady was really good at making her subjects feel comfortable. I see that smile. Gucci Gucci Goo. Rattle rattle. Suck suck. The way how they babies suck their pacifiers. They're kind of beauty. The session lasted an hour, and the photographer took a ton of pictures. But I don't see any of those pictures making their way onto Loaded Diapers posters either. Wait a minute. 25, 26. Okay, I'm on the right page. I guess the guys still wanted their pictures though. It was cheaper to order a calendar than to buy individual photos. So that's the package they went with. Mom's already using it as our family calendar. So I guess that means we've got 12 months of Loaded Diaper to look forward to. Sunday, Roderick thinks the only way for Loaded Diaper to win the Battle of the Bands competition is to play a bunch of shows and keep improving. But right now, they don't have a good way of getting around. A few weeks back, Roderick's van got rear-ended by someone, and now he can't open the back doors. That means it's practically impossible to load all the band's equipment into the van. Roderick looked into getting the doors replaced, but he found out it would cost more to get new ones than the van is actually worth. But then the guy saw an ad for a contest that a local car dealership was having called Hands on a Van, where the person who can keep at least one hand on the brand new van the longest gets to keep it. So they decided this wasn't the answer to their transportation problems. Roderick and the other guy spent a lot of time debating which one of them should enter the contest to win that van. But Mackie said that if they all enter the competition, they have 4 times the chances of winning it. The contest started on Friday night. I think the guys were planning on this thing lasting a few hours. And when it was over, they drive up in their new van, but that's not how it played out. When they got to the dealership, there was a huge crowd. And even though the contest hadn't officially started, people were already in position. Once the competition got going, the rule was that if you took your hand off the van for even a second, you'll be out. That meant there were no potty breaks. And 30 minutes into the competition, Drew was really wishing he hadn't just downed a 64-ounce soda. Drew was the first person to drop out, but a long time went by before anyone else did. And 3 hours later, everyone was still going strong. A lot of contestants had packed coolers with food, because they must have known they were in for a long night. But Roderick and the other guys weren't prepared, so Roderick called Mom and asked her to bring them sandwiches. Mom was too busy to drive down to the dealership, so she sent me on my bike. And when I got there, I handed the guys their food. Bill was paranoid that he was going to accidentally take his hand off the van, so he kept both hands on the vehicle, and that meant I have to feed him, which was kind of awkward. I stuck around for a little while, but it was pretty boring watching a bunch of people standing there doing nothing. So I went home, but in the morning, Roderick's van wasn't in the garage, which meant he was still at the dealership. Oh no! Oh no! Mom sent me back down there with bagels and orange juice. And even though a lot of contestants had quit overnight, there was a handful of people still in it, but some of them looked like they were ready to crack. A few contestants started playing mind games to psych each other out. One lady began singing really loud and out of tune, and some old guy opened up a can of what smelled like expired tuna. Another guy started reading the phone book from the beginning to annoy everyone else. And I guess that was too much for Mackie, because he lost his nerve before the guy even got through the bees. It was pretty clear that sleep deprivation was taking its toll on everyone. And one lady got eliminated for trying to pet a dog that wasn't even there. How dumb she is. What kind of a dumb person who could have pet a puppy who wasn't even there? That's ridiculous. A few hours later, there were only a few people left. Bill and Roderick seemed like they might fall over at any second. And they were up against a lady who looked like she could easily go another 2 days. And I think the guys were seriously considering giving up at that point. But the lady was watching some game show on her TV, and when she got a question right, she lost her focus just long enough to get eliminated. I thought that was the end of the contest, but it wasn't, because Bill and Roderick got into an argument over which one of them should actually win the van. Roderick said it should be him because all of the band equipment was at his house, but Bill said it should be him because he never had his own vehicle before. And those two guys are more stubborn than I realized, because neither one of them budged for 2 whole hours. Around 10 o'clock that night, Roderick came with a compromise. He said that they could share the vehicle, and whenever the band didn't need the van for a show, Bill could use it. Bill said he was okay with that, so they took their hands off the van at the same time and shook on it. But they probably should check to make sure no one was on the other side of the vehicle before they let go. Because I'm pretty sure the guy who ended up winning was only a few minutes away from throwing into the towel himself. Tuesday. After their hands on the van contest, Roderick and his bandmates realized they weren't going to be playing shows anytime soon. So they've been brainstorming other ways to get their music out there. They decided what they needed to do was post a bunch of stuff on social media and a building following that way. So they created an account and started posting clips of them playing music in our basement. What the? Wait a minute, I noticed that he was singing something that night he was supposed to say something. That's profanity! Wow. Nah, continue the story. Those first posts didn't get many views. So they decided to change things up by filming in more interesting places. But those videos didn't take off either. Then the other day, Bill dropped a speaker on his foot, and Mackie was filming when it happened. See? He was saying something that's not he was supposed to say. That's profanity. I showed you that from earlier. Now I went to the next page. They posted that video as a joke, and it was their most popular one yet. What the? Some people must be commenting something that is hilarious. Like, that's so funny, man. Then they all started posting a lot more stuffs like that, and their channel really took off. But after a few trips to the emergency room, the guys realized things had gone out of control. And even though they had a ton of likes, they weren't getting their music out there, which was the whole point to begin with. So the guys went back to just posting clips of them playing music, and they lost a ton of followers. And after a while, they even gave that up because it wasn't worth the hassle. Look at this. Look what bad happens. Wednesday, Roderick decided that Loaded Diapers should forget about filming clips for social media and focus on making a real music video instead. So the guys have been watching all of Metaloxa Chihuahua's early videos, and they decided their best ones was for the song Dog Eat Dog, which they filmed at a nettle with real chihuahuas. Look at this. Metal chihuahuas. Dog Eat Dog. Well, this is it for part 2. I must stop at this. And so the time was running out. Well, thank you all guys for reading aloud with me the Diapery of a Wimpy Kid Diaper Overload on part 2. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to Gregory the Popular G. Battles!